everyone, it's Dan or A-Drive here, bringing you guys a first edition opening for Elestrals. I'm so stoked that I have the opportunity to do this. It has been many months coming, and if you don't know, you can actually pre-order our first edition available right now at shopelestrals.com. We have booster boxes, starter decks, we have some blister packs, we've got sleeves, and a bunch of other stuff coming in the future. And don't forget, if you pre-order and you're one of the first to do so, you can actually get the Stellar Galaxy promo, which of course comes if you order $50 or more. We've updated our shipping, we've updated a ton of stuff, including the quality of our cards, and that is why things have taken as long as they have. So in this video, I'm gonna just casually show you guys some of the stuff that we have for first edition. I'm gonna be opening up some of the stuff as well and just having a good time and show you guys just how great first edition of Elestrals is. This really is the beginning of the future of Elestrals. I'm so excited. Show some love, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's jump in. All right, so to show you guys a few of the things, we've got our Stellar Nectar of the Gods blister pack promo. Absolutely beautiful. And of course, the Stellar Ambrosia blister pack promo. Definitely must-haves. We've got some sleeves here, which I want to show off. We've got our new Pantera sleeves. You can actually pull this Pantera in the Pantera starter decks as a serialized Stellar. We've got our Spirits in the Sky sleeves, which are actually my favorite sleeves. I just love the back of the Elestrals cards. I think they look phenomenal, so I'm really excited about these personally, and these are going to be the ones that I use to sleeve my decks. And then, of course, we've got the Sonic Core and the Boom Bat, of course. This is the Shattered Stars Sonic Core and the Stellar Boom Bat, which was a Kickstarter promo. Some really cool sleeves. They're very, very awesome. I think you guys are going to love them, so definitely check those out. From there, we obviously have all of our starter decks. We've got the Earth, Fire, Water, Thunder, and of course, Wind starter deck. And the biggest thing to note with these is that they have new Stellars in them. So rather than pulling Hydrake or Sprouter, you can actually pull the Final Ascension. So you would potentially pull a Stellar Imperial or Stellar Pantera, like I said, from the sleeves. Stellar Majesty, they're beautiful. We'll pop those on in post here for editing so you guys can see them. Only 99 of those exist in the world for each starter deck, so go out there and get them. I am really excited. These Stellars and these Holos just look magnificent. And of course, the booster box. This is crazy because this is the first time our stores actually open with a lot of booster boxes. Every time we've kind of had any sales of leftover Kickstarter stuff, we had, you know, like 100 booster boxes. So now you guys actually have a chance to grab booster boxes for Elestrals, which is really, really exciting. And I gotta say, like, you're coming in at a perfect time because the quality has just gotten so much better. And I want to talk about that in this video. I'm going to rip this box. We're going to open up some packs and just have some fun. But I kind of want to talk a little bit to all of that because it's obviously been a long journey for us to get to this point. You know, we had our Kickstarter, and initially, guys, if you asked me when first edition was going to come out, I would have told you like September of last year, like for real. But then I kind of, after I received all the Kickstarter stuff and kind of had some feedback and kind of looked through at all the situations that we were in, I recognized that, you know what, to get where I want to go with Elestrals, I really need a different print partner. And you're going to see when you open up your booster box, the box toppers are upside down now. That was one bit of feedback that we actually gathered from Kickstarter. But I determined that we needed a new print partner to scale. Not just from the perspective of being able to print more or of higher frequency, but let's see if I get the Stellar. I'm not going to get the Stellar, of course. But to ensure better quality and better processes moving forward in QA, because we saw that there was some sorting issues in Kickstarter. We saw that there was some issues with some print lines, and I'm not going to sit here and promise that every single issue is going to be resolved or fixed or whatever until, you know, thousands of you guys get your hands on these cards. I won't really know, but from what I've seen so far, we've seen some really, really positive things, kind of going all the way down to just the booster packs in general. So this is actually a Founders Edition booster pack right here, and this is our new booster pack. So one thing you're going to notice is just more true colors across the board on packaging and everything else. But one of the things I love about our new booster packs is they have like a ridge here on these sides, and it's actually going to protect the cards a lot better. I think you'll also find them a little easier to open, these new packs, so I'm hopeful for that. But let us jump in here. So we partnered with a publisher over the summer called Add Magic. If you're not familiar with them, they are the ones who actually produce Cards Against Humanity, amongst other games, right? Like, they're a pretty well-known publisher. And one of the things, and you're going to see so quickly how good the randomization is, guys. It's so much better. I'm not going to say you're not going to ever find any, like, patterns or anything, but it's just exponentially better. This is one of the former Holos in Kickstarter that is no longer a Holo. Aphros right there. I'm gonna have a really hard time sorting my cards, so you're gonna have to bear with me. But, you know, like I said, so we decided to get a publisher, Add Magic. They work with Cards Against Humanity, Exploding Kittens, all that other stuff. And what that does is it adds a middleman, essentially. I previously sourced everything from the manufacturers myself, but it adds a trusted middleman that's going to help us in terms of finding the best quality manufacturers and upholding those standards, QA, and making sure that we're compliant across the globe. There's a Pandora's Box, our first holo. Very nice. And you're gonna notice, guys, that the holo foils on these, so good. They layer them on. You'll see some holo bleed, intentional holo bleed, which exists through parts of the card, but overall just a better quality card. I think you guys are gonna love it. They still are the same thick cardstock that you guys know and love from Founders Edition, but they have a little bit more bend to them. So it's actually the same thickness, but with a little bit more flexibility, which I think will be crucial when it comes to shuffling decks and playing in a competitive setting. So by getting a publisher, it meant we had to kind of start our manufacturing process all over again because we needed to sample and nail down our specs. Now, you might think, oh, it's just cardboard, isn't it? Like, how hard could that be to nail down the specs? But there's actually a lot that goes into it. We do serialized cards, which a lot of games don't do. We have a lot of custom holo patterns. Ooh, a full art Poseidon as our hits. Look at that, a full art Poseidon. It looks so good. It looks so good. Full art Poseidon. Let me actually pull up the Kickstarter one so you can compare the two. I'm not sure how well the camera is gonna show, but this is the Kickstarter one and this is the new first edition one. And I think if you look pretty closely, there actually is a pretty significant difference in terms of just the colors, the brightness, everything like that. I really think the first edition cards look stunning. So with all of our customization and stuff, we had to go through prototyping process, right? And I can remember actually at the beginning of August, we had gotten our first prototypes from first edition. And then we had to go through another round of prototypes because they weren't quite as good as I wanted. Like I was like, I really think we can nail this a little bit better. We can improve upon some of the print line issues and we can just make it better in general. So we continue to push forward and go through another round of prototyping. So I did 2 rounds of prototyping to get to this, which is actually pretty nuts. We did an extensive amount of testing to get to this point. That card's upside down. I was like, wait, why the spirit ended up upside down? We did an extensive amount of testing to get to this point to ensure that we had kind of the highest quality when all was said and done. And you can see the randomization is already so much better. There's a Holo Station, one of our new friends in this set, Holo Station. I'm actually quite excited about this one. It looks so good, dude. I absolutely love this little guy. What a great Elestral. Not too bad there. So multiple rounds of prototyping to get to this point. And then from there, we had to obviously put the order in and you know, there's a long manufacturing time and there's so much that goes into it, right? Then it has to get on a boat, it has to travel by sea freight, and there's just a tremendous, you know, amount of time that it takes to kind of go from submitting everything to getting it to this point. But the good news is there's a non-holo Majesty. The good news is from this point forward, we actually anticipate that things are going to go a lot smoother. Frostfall, our second set, is already in production, and that should be wrapping up pretty much any day at this point, and it's going to be piggybacking onto a separate boat because we don't want to delay anything here. So that's going to be coming on a separate boat, and then I can tell you that we're finishing up Daybreak, our third set. That's going to go into manufacturing, and that's going to... Ooh, Holo Nectar of the Gods! Look at that! It's beautiful! So we're going to have Daybreak going into production, and then we've begun testing our fourth set as well. So things are moving. Like, it feels like it's taken forever to get to this moment where I can tell you guys that first edition pre-orders are available. And it's taken a while, but it's taken a while because we put the extra care to ensure the best. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And, you know, I had a call yesterday with the team, and one of the things that we talked about was just, you know, improving for the future. And I told them, listen, there's an Ambrosia right there. I'm looking for perfection when it comes to our cards. I'm looking for excellence across the board from A to Z, every part of the process. But there's going to be some things that we're going to iron out, right? Like there may be some hiccups here and there that we're going to encounter, and you guys know I'm always going to be transparent and upfront about those types of things and continue to improve. So I think by the time we get to, you know, the next couple sets, we're going to see just a better process all around as the manufacturer gets more familiar with what we're doing. As we get more familiar with the processes, it's going to ultimately become something just absolutely so incredible, guys, as we continue to build Elestrals. So I just want to say thank you again to everybody who's been supporting this long. It feels like we've gone through this incredibly long drought to get to this point, right? Like we've just had to wait so long to be able to really do anything, which is a struggle, right? I'm not going to lie. It used to be that if you got a stadium, you would get 4 or 5 stadiums in a row. None of that here. None of that here in first edition, ladies and gentlemen. much better sorting. And one of the things, I mean, like I said, until thousands of people open these boxes, I'm not gonna really know all the details about it. But one of the things I will say is in the box I opened prior to this is just a quality check. And so far in this box, I've seen much better distribution in the packs and much better distribution in terms of holos. And that should be a thing across the board, right? Is we're gonna see more variety of holos. I understand that there are people with Kickstarter where you maybe get 3, 4, or even sometimes 5 of the same holo in a box. Obviously that's unacceptable. So just know, like, I'm here and I hear you guys every single time, and I'm doing everything I can to just continue to make this something truly amazing, something truly special that we can all be proud of, and we can all be like thankful that we were a part of. There's our Holo Spirit Holo by Pyro, looking so good. Look at this beauty. Look at this guy. This is awesome. And I know a lot of people have been asking all sorts of questions. We're gonna be doing an AMA to discuss the roadmap for the year. So if you haven't joined our Discord server yet, I highly recommend you check it out. Discord.gg/Elestrals. I'm gonna be answering a ton of your guys' questions and just kind of giving you guys the rundown on what to expect this year. But it's gonna be really, really fun. It's gonna be really awesome. There's a Holo Viscerus, dude. Looks so good. So good, man. Like, I cannot emphasize enough how clean these holos look, guys. I'm so proud of where we've come. Like, I'm so proud of it. It is so much better than where we were, and it's only gonna get better from here. Like, when I tell you that I feel like our art team has stepped it up, our internal teams have stepped it up, our QA internally has stepped it up, our idea generation has been stepped up, like, everything is gonna just be so awesome. I know there's a big conversation about LGS and local game stores and how you can get involved in Elestrals in the future, and I can tell you guys that we have some big plans for that as well. So have no fear. The ideas are here. We're gonna be doing some awesome stuff, and it's only gonna get better from here. So I've showed you, I think, enough of the box that you can see, you know, for yourselves that the sorting is much better. The holos look beautiful. You know, we got one upside down spirit, but aside from that, you know, that's no big deal. But everything has been so much better already. So I think what I'll do at this point, so I'm not just going through a whole box and talking through it, I'm gonna hit you guys with the highlights and the big hits as we go, and we'll see what kind of the end of the box looks like. Nice, Holo Empirix. That's a beauty. Look at that. That's such a good one too. It really is. I really want to see this card get some more play. I feel like it's not a card that you see a lot, and I think that that's a reflection of fire more than it is Empirix. So I do think there's some value there, but I can tell you that there's going to be a bigger emphasis for fire in the future to kind of retain some of the themes that it has. I know it's a little messy right now, and I'll be honest, it stays a little messy. It gets a lot better in set 2, but it might be a little messy in terms of kind of what it can do. But I think you're going to see that kind of overall theme and idea start to get honed in a little bit more as future sets come out. And that's just one of the other things I'm so excited for. Anyone who has playtested Frostfall, I know this is a first edition video, but the first edition is here for those of you who missed out, so that way you can get involved now, right? Or those of you who need more or want more cards. But I'll tell you, man, Frostfall is going to take things to just another level, guys. It's only going to get even better. Hey, there's an Exaltair, one of the brand new holos in first edition. We swapped out a few of the holos from Kickstarter, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm going to land an Exaltair. This card, it's one of those things. It's funny. I think about the development of the game, and I remember Exaltair was one of those cards that it used to have 4 attack, and I nerfed it kind of towards the very end of our testing phase before we went to print. And I remember thinking to myself, that was one of my biggest regrets, is that I nerfed Exaltair, because I really felt like 4 attack, it was deserving of that. But Exaltair fans out there, do not fret. That card becomes an absolute menace in the upcoming sets. If it had 4 attack, it may be one of the best cards in the game, and it still is one of the best cards in the game in future sets. And I don't want to say anything more than that, but it ends up being a really good thing that it wasn't 4 attack, because Wind gets some pieces to the puzzle that make Exaltair so much better, and that's just huge, right? Like, you can probably guess Exaltair is such a good pair with things like P-Gust because of those receive effects. So if you add a few more receive effects into Wind, you could probably guess how quickly that'll snowball. It's very good. I'm very excited for the future of Exaltair. Hey, Rise from the Ashes. Look at that beauty. Poor little Nimbug. Poor little Nimbug, but he's coming back. Absolutely sick. And a Holo Sonicore. We're going to continue the hits here with a Holo Sonicore, which brings me to one of my next points here. It was a fact that in the Founders Edition packs, you would generally get 12 holos per booster box. You may just get a little bit more here with First Edition, and when we get to the recap at the end, I'll kind of talk a little bit more about that. And by the way, I know a lot of people always say how hard it is to open up packs. It's so simple, guys. Watch this. Ready? You just do this, you pull and push, and it just opens right up. It's so easy. Hey, Stratamoth. Look at that holo. Add another one to our collection. The first ever Elestral 3 cost. And Holo Latagon, another one of the new holos in First Edition. This is a great box to show you guys the new stuff because I'm hitting all the good stuff, man. All right, we are down to our last pack, ladies and gentlemen, for this First Edition booster box opening, the first one to ever hit the internets. And I just want to say another big thank you guys for everything you've done for Elestrals and for what we're trying to build here. Yes, dude, we hit Krakatuga too. It doesn't get better than that, man. We really got so many of the new holos in this one, and we can count them up too because there's so many good ones to check. This is what you're gonna get out of a booster box, guys. Like, it's gonna be so hype. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. That's right. You should see a higher frequency of holos, ever so slightly. We saw 12 in the Founders Edition. Most people will experience 13 or 14 in their First Edition boxes, and I think that's going to be really hype. And you get your Voltempest box topper. You have a chance at brand new serialized Stellar Rares, Tectorus, Volcaries, and more that I don't want to reveal all right now, but they're amazing. They're only going to get better. It's going to be awesome. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to get back to you on more about First Edition, but you guys can go to shopelestrals.com. Don't miss out because the Galaxy Stellar pre-order bonus that you get, the promo, it's only limited time. So, or it's not limited time, but it's limited quantity. So you got to get those pre-orders in. Any pre-order over 50 bucks, it'll automatically be added to your cart. As long as it's added to your cart, you're locked in and you're good to go. So this is going to be awesome. Thank you guys so much. I sincerely appreciate y'all. What a time to be alive. Now is the time to tell your friends about Elestrals. It's about to get crazy. We expect these cards to land in March. It's going to be a wild year. I can't wait. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys soon.